discuter de tout ça.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Chaos Night. I've left the cats loose, so they might be roaming. I might put them away. It depends on how well they're doing today. Oh boy. Welcome, everybody. This is the Tuesday night stream where we talk about all the new releases that are coming out at Variant Edition, things you can find on the shelf. As always, we've gone through stacks and stacks of stuff, putting away things for everybody, and just trying to, trying to do a good job. Who knows? Right. Hi, I'm back from Ireland. I'm a little out of sorts because as I was trying to get this going, the internet dropped, and I was scrambling around trying to figure out what was happening. Obviously, I need the internet to do this. Just sort of added to my day. So I'm back from Ireland. I had a wonderful time. According to young Mr. Craig, who works the store and helped cover for me while I was gone, along with Danica. A lot of people were saying that I deserved this vacation, and man, it has been definitely over a decade since I had a full vacation that wasn't more than 6 days and just popping off a little bit to somewhere. But yeah, Ireland is wonderful. It's beautiful, lush green, rolling hills. Like, what's not to like? Unless apparently you're from Ireland, and when you're asked or when you're told like, oh, I love the scenery, I love everything here, and they're just like, really? It's kind of boring. I'm like, no, it's boring to you because you're around it. It's sort of like how we're so close to the mountains, we don't really experience the awe of the mountains as much as folks like from Ireland would do. Like when we were pointed out, when we're me and the family, we stayed at another friends of the family's house, and we would go on trips, and we went to a beach. I want to say Murtaugh Beach. It started with an M, and it was very Irish. And they pointed over, and they're just like, look, the mountains. And there's just these like bigger hills. And I was like, oh, you guys are adorable. I love this. So that was nice. And wonderful time. Went to the Giant's Causeway, which is a stunning thing. Definitely look it up. It's apparently the 8th wonder of the world. And it's these like natural formed rocks that are sort of hexagonal and like in all these different positions. Like you can climb them, and people in vests will yell at you if you're doing it the wrong way, because there's a dangerous way to climb it and there's a safer way to climb it. And definitely didn't run afoul of any of that. Fell twice. Got some pretty wild bruises. So like this is mostly recovered, but this whole area looked like a star nebula with like blues and purples and pinks, and it was kind of quite beautiful, but it hurt. It hurt a lot. Pro tip: don't fall. Falling hurts, especially when you're older. So yeah, Ireland was amazing. We were off there for a friend of a wedding. For a friend of a wedding. A family friend's wedding. You can use words. Words are fine. And my goodness, it was gorgeous. Definitely kind of not the thing that I would do because it was a lot. But I really had a fun time there. And yeah, yay. I wish my brain could think a little bit more. Might just be a little rusty being back, maybe a little nervous for one reason or another. And to kind of cap off my day, as the internet was going out, another baby. There's not enough room for all the babies. Squee. Friends of ours, Lori, actually, Squee's original owner, watched the cats while I was gone. So they were very well taken care of. Jim's looking really good, honestly. Which she never does when I leave for any given amount of time. And so I'm very thankful to Lori for taking care of the kiddos. But today, was an absolute garbage fire. And to kind of top it off, the internet's not working, and I'm trying to figure something out, and my hand accidentally hits the sad trombone. And I was like, perfect. No notes, life. That's exactly what I wanted in this moment. Are you brushing your face against the Scott Pilgrim boxes? These bad boys can fit so much Scott Pilgrim in it. In fact, the entirety of Scott Pilgrim in them. We'll talk about them in a little bit, but yeah, today to kind of go through some stuff. Started off the day, went to pick up shipment, and the shipment place was just bonkers. There was like cars everywhere. There was all these weird giant fabric boxes that were like empty and stuffed with other giant fabric boxes and stacked all around, and all the comic stuff was in the back, and normally it's all kind of nicely laid out and whatnot, but this was absolute chaos, and it took forever to get the stuff. They were busy, I understand. But on this day, only half of the DC stuff came in, so that's good. There was some glitch with the last 2 weeks of DC stuff. We luckily caught it last week while I was in Ireland, and placing an order at like midnight in a panic of just like, all right, these things, oh my goodness. But this week's stuff didn't quite land, so it's coming with next week's shipment. So if you're looking for anything kind of past Detective Comics in the letters this week from DC, other than 0 Hour, which was solicited at a different time, you'll get it, just not this week. It won't be on your polls because it was a separate invoice. So missing half a shipment. That shipment was also late because normally we have DC the week before. Image shipment also didn't show up until a little bit later. Bless him, Craig, his brain wired himself to be like, I'm back to my 1 p.m. start, which is what he does on Thursdays and Fridays for us. But he's to start at 11 on Tuesdays, and forgot. So I had to give him a gentle nudge, and he came in an hour late. This is also one of the biggest comic shipping weeks that I think this summer has had. There was so many books. I would say like 50% more than usual. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of oversized stuff. I forgot to grab one of them now that I'm thinking of it to show everybody. And then Diamond Site wouldn't work, and I need that information to do the files. So that was my first processing thing back. Went great. Again, no notes. All right. So that's sort of a little life update. Hope everything's going well with all of you. I missed at least 91% of you. And 9% of you should know who you are. Danica's making the point, because this happens sometimes, is at the end of fiscal year for all the publishers. I believe that ends up being September when that madness happens. But yeah, there's definitely a lot going through for sure. All right, so I've got a stack. Some of these things came out in the last couple weeks, but I wanted to talk about them because, well, I didn't when I was on vacation. I didn't have them. I couldn't do it. Couldn't happen. So we're going to be doing that. So a little stack of single issues, a larger stack of graphic novels, and want to kick things off, though there is not room to really show because I've got a wee Jiminy Beast here. I might have to move you a little bit, girly. Oh, loves. Feets. All right. So we've got these bad boys. They're the 20th anniversary edition of Scott Pilgrim. They come in two flavors. One with all the books in color and one with all the books in black and white. And so they kind of open up clamshell style. And they have gorgeous presentation. So you get all of the books and some bonus stuff. And Scott Pilgrim is one of my foundational books. It hit me 20 years ago, so I would have been 19. And let me tell you, hitting Scott Pilgrim when you're 19, when it's about a dude just sort of fresh out of high school trying to figure out his life, it's gonna hit you. And it did quite a bit. So I love all the different things that they've done with the design, because obviously the black and whites are a little bit different. And I'm so excited to sort of re-experience this. I did get copies of these for myself for my birthday, which was August 1st. I figured, and I enjoyed, I could use a little treat. And so I treated myself to a set of each, because you can never have too many books, right? It's not a problem. Why would it be a problem? Everyone needs to stop saying that I have a problem. So yeah. Oh, thanks, Carl. Yeah. So yeah, I'm very excited. We've got copies in the store. Though you won't be able to open those up. Those are sealed, but you can look at them because they sure are some pretty boxes. And yeah. Oh yeah, Sean's birthday is real close to my own. And actually went over for his birthday, hung out a little bit. What are you up to? You gonna cause trouble? You gonna press those buttons? I wouldn't press those buttons. You could do it. All right, baby, come on. Be nice. Jim's like, I am being nice. All right. I may eventually have to stop the feed to take care of cats, but we'll see if everyone will settle. So I don't have any these in any particular order. Usually I try and organize them to have a bit of a flow, but with the internet going down, no time. Got to start. So yeah, starting out with single issues, we have facsimile editions of the Transformers comic from 1984. This is the blank cover version. There are a couple other ones, including obviously the regular cover. These are reprint editions of the comic, while most facsimile editions also have all the old ads, which is really cool. This one does not, because Skybound does not have the rights to those ads. They were not the people who published them. That was Marvel back in the day. And I love the blanks because folks can get their own covers done for them. So if you're looking for a bit of nostalgia, or if you missed out on having Transformers #1 when you were a kid and you just really want to, you can go nuts. Also, we have, speaking of for kids, we have one of the first Sesame Street comics. There's been one other in the past, but this is going to be a full series coming out from Oni Press. And it's just going to be good kids content. Which is good because while a lot of kids tend to be more graphic novels instead of single issues, we do still have a small smattering of kids that are just looking for some single issues. And so this is going to be great for them. We also have the Phases of Moon Knight. This is a Moon Knight anthology series. So a lot of folks who were getting the kind of more side series of Moon Knight, I did put you down for this just in case, because I know that you're the folks who are just real deep into the character. I know we have a few of you who get all the covers, and for folks who are wondering, this does have writing by Erica Schultz and Benjamin Percy, with art by Manuel Garcia and Rod Reese. Rod Reese is absolutely amazing. He does a lot of kind of more watercolory Bill Sienkiewicz style artwork, which is really cool. We have I Lie Popeye, which is basically sort of like a manga-fied Popeye. So you get sort of like that high octane, high action storytelling that you would with Japanese manga, but on a very American character. So the mix is extremely interesting between the two. I'm gonna look up the details on this one. Hopefully Diamond is actually up and functioning so that I can look at further details on this. Otherwise, we're gonna figure some things out as we go, because babies, we are doing it live as always. Good. This is not going to be complete and utter show. We've got the newest book for John Arcudi. You might know him as a co-writer and creator on most of the original BPRD stuff with Mike Mignola. This one with Savannah Finley doing the art and the wonderful Simon Gain doing that cover. Beautiful. Science officer Orin Kaluda finds himself stranded on a distant planet, starving and haunted by ghosts of his dead crew. On the verge of death, he makes an astonishing discovery. That's a boring solicit. Kids these days with their boring solicits. I will have to read this and let people know a little bit more about it. I like a little more flavor in my comics descriptions, because that's sort of like your kind of cookie cutter story element stuff. Like he's stranded on a planet. He's being haunted by his dead crew. That's great. There's a lot of stories like that. Where's the flavor? What's the thing that's going to connect me? So that's my job. I'm going to give it a read and figure it out, and keep an eye on socials. Come in store. If I think it's up your alley, it's going to be in your hands. We have the newest Berserker book. This from the original Berserker creative team of Keanu Reeves. Yes, that Keanu Reeves. Matt Kint and Ron Garney. This features the title character in a different era. So, well, in more of a Viking era, as you can see. For those who are not familiar with Berserker, I described it originally as, think John Wick, but with a little more violence. And they would go, more violent than John Wick? And I went, oh, sirs and ma'ams and etc. Yes, very much so. It's basically like Immortal John Wick, basically. And folks have been loving it. This is a new one-shot for that. We've got Archie, The Decision from Tom King and Dan Parent. You might know Tom King as one of the biggest writers today. Well, in this issue, as the solicit says, Team Betty or Team Veronica, make your choice. Archie finally flips for his true love. Is it Betty or Veronica? Everyone in Riverdale is eager to learn the outcome, and all of your favorites, from Josie and the Pussycats to Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and even Hot Dog, are joining the fun. So, is Archie going to choose between Betty and Veronica? It's called The Decision, so we'll have to see. They got a big enough name writing it. And this one I will also have to look up for a little bit. It's Guilt Frame from Matt Kint and his mom, Margie Kraft Kint, doing some co-creation here. It's very sweet. They've actually been doing signings and stuff, which I find very adorable. It's apparently a story that means a lot to both of them, that they work together on. And I know folks who like Matt Kint stuff are already on board and grabbing this stuff, but I do like to, always introduce new people to new stuff. A classic whodunit mystery that spans the globe from Paris to Hawaii to Montenegro, as we hustle to keep up with the most unlikely murder-solving duo in the history of murder solvers. Sam, who is in his early 20s, is an orphan, taken in when he was younger by his well-off Aunt Mary, who has an eccentric taste for antiques and travel. Together, Sam and Mary have solved some of the most notorious murders in the world, and true to form, their Parisian vacation is cut short when they stumble across a murder scene so bizarre that only a raging psychopath would have to produce it. But to solve the crime, they have to wrestle with jewel thieves, art forgers, gun runners, a lost puppy, and a master French detective who may just solve the crime before they do. So those are the single issues. We are at more of the graphic novels. As always, we have tons of books, tons of graphic novels that are coming all the time. And these are ones that have gone on the shelf in the past couple weeks and this week that I really want to showcase. First, we have a collected edition of Wonder Woman, The Adventures of Young Diana. These were originally backups by Jordi Belair and Paulina Ganusow. They were appearing in the Wonder Woman title. This is a wonderful series of Wonder Woman stories for the young adult audience, and really kind of pitch perfect for there. It's more a bit more teen drama, but with a lot of Wonder Woman mythology mixed in. And this was wonderful when it was coming out in the single issue form. I'm so happy that they decided to collect this in a way that the audience appreciates, in the nice YA format, a little bit smaller, but a lot more digestible. Ba-da-da. You are right. Squee is for Berserker. We have Unico Awakening. This is this is based off of an old manga property by Osamu Tezuka, who a lot of you might know as the creator of Astro Boy, amongst a lot of other classic Japanese manga. He's called the godfather of manga for a reason. And here, Unico is being brought over for a younger audience here from with Scholastic, the folks who are the best at all ages graphic novels. Yeah. So after Unico angers the evil goddess Venus, the brave young unicorn is banished and all of his memories erased. Rescued by a kind-hearted west wind, Unico awakens in an unfamiliar world where he's befriended by Chloe, an abandoned watch cat. Chloe begs Unico to turn her into a human so she can fend for herself. But that act of kindness has unforeseen consequences. Venus and her cutthroat henchman, Byron, seek to destroy them both. Another YA here today is Art Club. Inspired by the author's own childhood, this contemporary graphic novel paints a picture of an inspiring young artist on a mission to prove that the arts are worth fighting for. Dale Donovan has heard the same lecture over and over again. Art will get you nowhere in life. A kid with a creative streak, Dale wants nothing more than to doodle, play video games, and create comics forever. Maybe even as a full-time job one day. But between his grandfather pushing him to focus on his studies and school with zero interest in funding arts programs, Dale feels as if his future has already been decided. That is, until he comes up with the perfect plan. What if he starts an after-school art club, gathers a team of creative students like himself, and proves all the naysayers, his stubborn vice principal in particular, wrong? Dale's plan might work, but if the club isn't financially successful by the end of the semester, the school will shut it down. This is the only chance to show the adults in his life that a career as an artist is not just a dream, but a possibility. And so it's got a great artistic style here. And I can show you some of the interiors because this is a graphic novel and not a single issue where they're real precious about the Wednesday release date. I think this is going to speak to a lot of creative kids out there, and a lot of creative kids are always coming into our store. And it's at a great price too, like $17 Canadian is pretty good. We have work-life balance, which is something that I think is really cool. And also, ooh la la, French flaps, friends. Y'all know I love a French flap. When a menacing multinational arrives on our shores, familiar creatures like all right, that's a lot of words I'm not going to say, but there's a lot of wild, fantastic creatures are forced out of their jobs. Some give in and sign up for a mundane corporate life, but others would rather fight than join the broken-spirited hordes of the desk-bound. Benjamin Cheese Comics and Wayne Rees prose intertwine in this collection to bring you familiar Asian mythology in an even more familiar setting, the realm of dead-end work, glass ceilings, and truly hellish bosses. So basically taking a lot of Japanese folklore and doing sort of a workplace drama with it. We have the new volume of Spider-Punk. This series and the previous one are some of the better comics Marvel's put out in the past little while because there's such a kinetic energy to it. Cody Ziegler and Justin Mason really outdo themselves with these stories because they're also bringing in a whole bunch of punk culture. So I'm not really familiar with a lot of punk culture, but a lot of people who are really deep into it talk about how a lot of the different character designs in this are all inspired by a lot of different punk bands. Like the one I was going to say the one I knew for sure. The one I recognized was the Taskmaster one, but my brain is fuzzing out on the name of the actual band. So, that's not actually going to prove a point. But I recognize them, and that's what matters, right? Anyways, if you like the character from the Spider-Verse movies, it's an easy hop away to get these trades and really enjoy them. Now, a book really dear to me, one of my favorite reads in this past year. Oh, before that, Danica's saying that she finished her copy of Work-Life Balance, and it does have an interesting mix of art and prose. All right. We've got Rare Flavors. Now, this is by two of my absolute favorite creators, Ram V and Felipe Andrade, who did The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, which was an amazing kind of magical realism story about a goddess of death who is essentially kicked out of her job because there's a person born who will eventually come up with a cure for death. So without a need for her anymore, she chooses to live her life as a mortal and accept her death. And it's this beautiful tale about kind of discovering who you are after where you've been all your life, after where you thought your purpose was going to be, but done on this scale of like gods and mortality. It's brilliant. In a similar way, they tackle those themes in Rare Flavors, but with an eye more towards food. It's really amazing. Discover the tantalizing tale of Ruben Basque, a demonic rakshasa with a down-to-earth dream of being the next Anthony Bourdain. To achieve his vision, Ruben enlists Mo, an aspiring filmmaker who has seen better days, to document the world-renowned cuisine of India and the people behind such glorious food. But little does Mo know that there's more to Ruben than meets the eye, and the mortals play a darker role in the documentary than they're ever prepared for. Entice your palate and feast on the follow-up offering to Many Deaths of Layla Starr, with this graphic novel masterpiece marrying the supernatural, Indian cuisine, and the cutthroat world of chef-driven celebrity. It's amazing. They're so good at making these stories, and I'm so happy to be able to share this with even more people now that it is officially in graphic novel. Another great book that came out recently was Avengers Twilight. This was Chip Zdarsky and Danielle Acuna doing a take on the Avengers in the future, where things have gone sideways. It is absolutely gorgeous. They spent so long on this book that Chip Zdarsky wrote it years ago. And the art kind of slowly came together. So this is not a book that's coming out on that monthly grind of single issues. This is a book that was built and with great care, and you can tell this was one of our best sellers in single issues. And again, I'm really happy for this to get into people's hands. It's a gleaming new world of prosperity. Captain America is no more, but Steve Rogers still exists, floating through an America where freedom is an illusion. The Avengers are strangers and his friends are long dead. But is the dream itself dead? And how do you assemble the Avengers in a world that doesn't want them? With a clock ticking down to New Year's Day, Steve must build an army to save America. Will his surviving friends sign up, or will he have to lead a ragtag group called the Defenders against an expert military marksman known as Bullseye? I think the answer to that is yes. And can Steve infiltrate the Raft, a government facility full of secrets and danger on the offshores of New York City, before the new Iron Man sentences him to the same gruesome fate as Tony Stark? So I'm not a fan of that description of the book, because it is, again, missing a lot of flavor. What it described is more of a classic superhero book. Bad guys are doing this, good guys are doing this. Can you get the team together? They're going to do fights. What this is really about is sort of our slow crawl of a lot of how AI and a lot of the way that we're siloed off with information. We're not really talking with people. We're not really sharing information and coming to terms in good ways with each other. How a lot of that could lead into some really bad situations in terms of how we can let our freedoms kind of slip away and who we give power to. It's a great book for our times, I think. It really kind of focuses on a lot of complicated ideas and has a lot to say as a result, and I think it's really cool. Jules says, I believe, or I became instantly interested in Rare Flavors based off of the fact that the creatives behind Layla Starr are involved. Yes. All right, we've got two more here. The second collected edition from Distillery. For folks who don't remember, the first collected edition that they did was for Somna. They're great kind of witch hunt era, extremely erotic series done by Tula Lotay and Becky Cloonan. So definitely done with more of a female gaze, more female pleasure in mind, and an absolutely gorgeous book. I highly suggest it if you're into witchy things and honestly, sex positive storytelling about discovering who you are and what your likes are. This is a very different part of the genre area, where this is more of science fiction. Jock, who's done some absolutely amazing work, writes and draws his first original epic with Gone, the white knuckle odyssey of a young girl, Abby, trapped and hunted on a luxury city ship. Maturing into a bottle-scarred commander of a rebellion, Abby must fight desperate odds and deep space horrors in a breathless journey that spans light years and decades. Through the strife, one dream keeps Abby moving: to return to the home and family that she was ripped from once long ago. This hardcover collects the entire critically acclaimed 3-issue miniseries. Hi, Bing. Hope you're doing well tonight. And finally, while I was gone, the new Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips book came out, Houses of the Unholy. For a lot of you, I can just say the new Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips book has come out, and that's all you need to know. Certainly our polls will say that as well, as we have a lot of people who are like, whatever they do, let me know. This is a little bit different from their work. While they usually do more crime noir stuff on more of a straight-laced level, this definitely has a lot more mysticism to it. Houses of the Unholy is a riveting horror thrill ride. An FBI agent from the cult crime beat and a woman with a past linked to a satanic panic are drawn into a hunt for an insane killer hiding in the shadows of the occult underworld. Natalie Burns once thought she'd escaped her past. But what if your bad decisions are just more ghosts waiting for you in the dark? Carl, you are right. That is the same Jock that did the cover of Detective 880. Yeah, and he's doing his own sci-fi book. I first encountered Jock when he was doing The Losers with Andy Diggle, and that book blew my mind because Jock has this way of using entirely unique angles and sort of like a bit of a minimalism, but just with such energy. I can't really quite describe it, but I really like his work and the stuff he was doing there, because The Losers was just a big action movie done as comics. The end of the series keeps escalating each time, because like each time I'm like, wow, that was a wild action movie. How are they going to top it? And they kept doing it until, like, I believe in the final arc, they literally crack the earth. Which I don't think is good for the earth. I don't think the earth should have cracks in it. All right, folks, if you want to be seen out there, definitely comment, because we're getting to that time. I like that. Why is it so shiny? That's because they've got spot foil on the title of the Houses of the Unholy. As always, get your comments in so that you can partake in everyone's favorite. It's the absolutely original idea of a magic mirror, where we look through and we see all of you wonderful people out there and say, hey, thank you for being around. We hope that you had a good time, and we see you, and we want you to know that we are here for you too. I'm looking out and I'm seeing Jim in my way, just underneath the camera here. I'm seeing Ben. Hello, Ben. I'm seeing Sean. Hi, Sean. I'm seeing Danica. Hello, Danica. It's sad that your Pathfinder was postponed, but well, you're here, so that's fun too. I like that. I'm seeing Carl. Hello, Carl. I'm seeing Jules. Hi, Jules. I'm seeing Bing. Hey, Bing. I'm seeing Deb. Hey. Oh yeah, and it was great to see you folks, the whole family this week. We saw a lot of people come through for Metallica. And so yeah, very cool. All right. Well, those are all the people I have on the list. Thank you all for watching. of course, is the sound of it flying away. That does it for me today. Thank you all for being here. I hope you had a great time. I'm going to talk with you all soon enough. Definitely stop in store. I will be back doing some work all day Wednesday. Doing Thursday, I am doing deliveries once again for folks. Now that I'm back, there's a couple weeks worth of stuff for people, so that's cool. I'll be off doing that in the evening, and then on Friday, I'm only gonna work a half day, baby, because I have some pretty exciting plans that I'm very excited for. You may or may not hear about them. I don't know. Anyways, very excited about them. I will talk with you all again really soon. I hope you are all having a wonderful night, and we will see you all soon. Bye.